Good morning. I'm Meteorologist Lisa Green here with a look at what we can expect for the rest of this week. We are looking at conditions that are going to get more active again. As we are heating up today, changes are going to be happening, and as we see increasing chances for rain for the week, our temperatures will start to go down. So we've got some changes ahead. I did want to do a quick recap of the storms over the weekend that spawned the tornado reports and tornadoes that happened in central parts of North Dakota. Got some new information on that as we continue to track the results of that and how it impacts the state overall as far as records are concerned. So this is a look at the tornado outbreak over September 14th. Again, this weekend, you can see tornadoes from about the Mobridge area in South Dakota. And again, these are reports. Reports don't always necessarily add up to number of tornadoes. Sometimes you get multiple reports for the same storm. So that's something that will likely come down. But 21 reports here, 19 in the state of North Dakota that occurred with the storms from the 14th. And some new information is the reports that have come in and been surveyed. So each one of these, we've got 3 tornadoes that were surveyed so far and rated. And the Denhoff area was an EF2, the Linton area an EF2, and the Mercer area an EF1. So that gives us 3 tornadoes. I shouldn't say confirmed because there were confirmed other tornadoes, but rated so far officially in the record books. And more surveys are going to be coming out. I'm sure we'll get another update later today. But this is where we stand right now. And that's critical here because we're talking about record number of tornadoes in the state of North Dakota during a season. So let's talk about that. The old record was 61. That was set back in 1999 for the state. Up until the 14th, as of September 13th, there were 58 tornadoes in the running tally for the season. And so adding to that, we've got 3 more tornadoes that have been rated so far. So add that to 58. So 59, 60, 61. So we're currently at 61 officially. So that's a tie at the moment. But it's likely that we'll see those numbers go above that. And the National Weather Service offices in Grand Forks and Bismarck, both covering the entirety of the state of North Dakota, are in agreement that we definitely have 62 tornadoes so far this season. So that is now officially a record. But of course, we're still analyzing those September 14 reports. And then again, the old record was 61. The third highest was 60, set back in 2010. And if you remember, that was during the year where we had the June 17th tornado outbreak that produced 3 EF4 tornadoes and, of course, impacted people's lives on that year. And, of course, 2011, the next year, was a very active year as well, where we got 59 tornadoes confirmed in the state of North Dakota. And then the next drops pretty later into that 1976 number. That was 52 tornadoes on record in the state. So, again, it's official. We have at least tied, but pretty much we know that we have reached or surpassed the record. And Summer Schnellbach put this together yesterday. So just a review of some of these reports that came into some of these statistics. Most tornado reports in one day was back on June 17th, 2010, during that outbreak, which was 40 in the state. And the June 20th outbreak that earlier this year is in third at 23. And then on the June 26th, it was 19, which ties with September 14th. So if it stays at 19 reports, which likely will because those reports have come in already, that would be the 4th number of highest reports in one day. And again, just a reminder, the number of reports doesn't necessarily equal the number of tornadoes. And then another little statistic here, number of tornado warnings in a day, 1976, June 11th, back in September 14th, 2025 was 24, and June 20th again. So we have 2 of the top reports, or warnings rather, excuse me, that have been issued both early in the season and then later in the season in the state of North Dakota. And of course, we know the June 20th one impacted us here in eastern North Dakota more significantly in tragic ways, of course. So again, we are looking at what has been a very, very active season. At least 61 tornadoes surveyed, and official reports coming out, but we know that that number is going to be a little bit higher here. So again, a record year for tornadoes for 2025. And so let's talk about what we can expect as we head into this week. So we are looking out for more summertime kind of weather. In fact, heat today, we're looking at highs where we get into the 80s today. And then there is that isolated severe risk too. Now, I'm not expecting tornadoes, but still the possibility for an isolated severe storm. We'll tell you where that will be coming up in just a moment. And then overall, transitioning to a rainy week ahead, and one that will also feature a cool down too. So today will be 80. We don't have 80 in the forecast for the next 11 days. And as we're getting into fall, our chances of hitting 80 again are dropping. So we'll see if today's the last 80-degree day of the year. Only time will tell. Here's a look at our risk board today. This afternoon and evening, we're watching out for the potential for storms more in the southern valley, and especially in west central Minnesota, back into South Dakota. You can see this area in deeper green. That's the marginal risk, level 1. So it's a 1 out of 5. That's the lowest risk. And that is where we're looking at that possibility for some hail and some damaging wind gusts. Potential for non-severe thunderstorms outside of that area, mainly in the southern valley. I would say south and east would be that greatest chance. And just looking at impacts, anytime we have severe weather threats, we can't rule out a tornado, but the risk is looking lower today. What we are more focused in on is that hail up to a quarter size and winds up to 16 miles per hour heading into, again, this afternoon and evening. Let's take a look outside. You can see that we've got a pretty day going on for us right now in the valley. We'll pull this up full screen. This is Fargo. You can see we've got some blue sky happening here. I'm going to pull up our Grand Forks sky cam at UND so we can see how it's looking there. Because it's not the same everywhere. We know that's how it works in the valley, especially when we cover such a large area. But again, we are looking at some areas where we've had some more clouds, a little bit of rain shower activity. Here's Grand Forks here, and you can even see some more clouds going on in that area here this morning, especially on north of town. This is looking west from campus. And again, so we're looking out for rain, we're looking out for clouds potentially here, and here's a look at the latest radar. We will pull up our camera shot here too, so I can point things out to you. But again, most of us are experiencing just some sunshine, where a few more clouds mixed in. You can see Grand Forks looking west, that darker sky that we were just seeing on our sky cam there. This cluster of clouds, earlier this morning when I was on the North Dakota, or Valley today rather, we were tracking some rain and thunder showers as this was drifting north and east. And I can't rule out the possibility that this may produce a little bit of rain today, again, as we start to warm up a little bit more. And in fact, I'm kind of watching this little line here of clouds that are going. In addition to that, you see this other line of showers that has started, and even some thunder showers outside of our viewing area, but not too far away, just south, more into Big Stone County and south from there, and it crossed over from South Dakota, Minnesota now. But this line we'll be watching for. I can see some shower activity moving into Hubbard County, Park Rapids. You may be getting a shower here momentarily, and this may, develop more as we start to heat up a little bit more along the boundary that's moving through the valley. So this is an area to watch here this morning, and again into the afternoon and evening, we may see more of that. Looking at wind, it is light up to 16-mile-per-hour gusts in Langdon out of the west, behind that bit of a wind shift that we're experiencing with this front. And taking a look at our temperatures, you can see we are heating up already. We are at 75 in Fergus Falls and Sisseton. Fargo's at 74. Notice how it's a little cooler out to the west behind the front. It's 67 in Devils Lake and 69 in Jamestown right now. So let's take a look at our hour-by-hour planner. One thing I will say is our forecast models right now not handling this situation well. They didn't handle this morning's round of rain very well. And so this is not something I would count on, but we just want to show you what the solutions are showing us here as we work our way through the morning and into the afternoon. You can see some areas where we do have some clouds that may produce the possibility for some showers or thunder showers as we're working our way through. Hopefully you didn't lose me there. Our computer went black there for a second, so I want to make sure you heard what I was talking about, but it looks like things are looking pretty good at the moment. Looks like we're doing just fine. Okay, so again, we're looking at conditions that are going to be more sunny and partly cloudy, but where we do see that thunder shower development, there is a potential for storms. And while this model's not showing it very well, that possibility is there. So one of those times where our models are just not handling the current status of our environment at the moment. So heading into tomorrow morning, we will be watching out for, you can see some clouds moving in. We'll be watching out for rain, thunder showers starting to push in as an upper level low starts to impact our weather, and that's going to bring about some change. So once again, we're talking about falling temperatures because today we're looking warm, we're looking summer-like, temperatures into the mid-80s, 84 year high in Fargo with some isolated storm chances, and then heading into Friday, we'll be down to about 66 degrees for our forecast high, and cool and more on that rainy side coming up for Friday. So some big changes from Tuesday to Friday. It'll be, it's a big change, but we'll be stepping down each day, so it won't be sudden, but we will start to really feel the change going on. So I want to talk about that in our hour-by-hour planner here for the rest of the week. So this is 9 a.m. tomorrow. You can see some rain starting to push in, and again, we're going to have an upper-level low here, more centered over South Dakota, and that's going to bring about some influence for our weather here. It's going to draw in moisture from the southeast, and that's going to pump in, and it's just going to kind of stay in this area. It's not going to move much, so that will just continue pumping in moisture as that air rotates counterclockwise around the low. It's going to pump in that moisture into the valley and bring us more chances for rain off and on throughout the period of Wednesday through Friday, even into the weekend. And so here we go, Wednesday evening. Notice how it's more southern valley and focused out to the south and west. North and east, this will be an area where we see less chance, though we still have that possibility for shower and thunder shower activity. We just may not see as much. This continues on into Thursday morning, and we'll move on into Thursday evening. You can see breaks and then more rain and thunder showers moving through. And then we've switched to a longer range model, so lower resolution model. And by Friday evening, this is 5 p.m., you can see that rain moving its way through the valley. So this has the potential to impact your Friday night football plans, whatever plans you may have on Friday, and Saturday for football games too. Heading out for tailgating, we'll have to watch out for some rain shower potential going on heading into the weekend as well. Sunday may bring about a bit of a break, but you can see there's still some rain chances in the forecast. And again, that brings about some cooler temperatures too. So let's talk about the rain through Sunday. This is one of our higher solutions coming out. So what that means is this particular model, this happens to be the European model. This is putting out a little more moisture than the American model, but I want to show you like the higher range that's possible so we can be prepared for it, even if that doesn't exactly happen. But you can see west and south, we're looking at anywhere in yellow here, 1 to 2 inches of rain. Now heading into the little farther south, especially the likelihood will be greater of that 2 to 3 or even 2 to 4 inch rain where we see these pockets of red. Now, not a guarantee, but the possibility is there. And one thing to note is that it's not going to fall all at once. As we just showed you in our planner from Wednesday through Sunday, there'll be shots of rain, then breaks, then more rain, then breaks. So that's a good thing, but still, some areas that get hit multiple times might have some issues with some flooding, especially, in urban areas, some of the trouble spots that you experience when we get heavy rain. So that's something to keep an eye out for as we head through the rest of the week. And let's take a look at our 11-day planner. It's going to be on the rainy side as we head our way into, again, end of the week, into the weekend. Sunday, again, I'm hoping for a bit of a break from the active weather, but there may still be some rain showers going on Sunday. And then moving on into Monday, we've already talked about how from a weather standpoint, from a meteorological standpoint, it's already fall. But the astronomical fall on the calendar happens on Monday. So that's the fall equinox, when we get equal day, equal night, where we see the daylight hours start to shrink back and nighttime hours are longer into the rest of the time until we get to the spring equinox, really. We start gaining daylight at the solstice. We'll talk about that again more on Monday, but just interesting to say that, we'll be officially in fall on Monday, but it's going to feel a little bit better than the way we end the week. We're looking at some mid-70s, and that keeps going as we head into next week as well. Some low to mid-70s for highs in the forecast. So, we've got some ups and downs here in the forecast, watching out for a couple of thunder showers today, watching out for more cool temperatures and more rain coming up for the end of the week, and feeling a little bit more fall-like by the end of the week. And speaking of, we're starting to see those colors change. Let's take a look. In Minnesota, this is our latest update. Just ran into a chair there. This is our latest update. You can see on the map that we've got more color. Before it was just green. And, you know, over time, over the last several days, we've been seeing more of those leaves change over. So we see this more solid area of yellow. That's where we're at 25 to 50% of full fall color. So we're halfway to peak in some areas in northern Minnesota and western Minnesota. Now, this is for the Minnesota DNR. We don't have a similar map for North Dakota, but we can kind of infer based on what we're seeing on the Minnesota side that North Dakota is similar. So we're starting to see some patchy to maybe half of peak color going on. So now's your chance to get out and take it in. Today would be a good day for that. And then, of course, we'll have to watch out for some rain if you're going to do some leaf peeping heading into the rest of the week and into the weekend as well. And just a quick reminder of our typical leaf turnover. It doesn't happen this way every year, but it gives us an idea. Heading into September 20th, so heading into about 4 or 5 days from now, oftentimes around this time we're seeing our peak color going on. So we're getting close to that actually, pretty close here in the coming days. And then moving into, that's near peak. And then peak is more of this is that past peak, this deep maroon. So we're more into near peak as we head into that following week, the end of September, and then really into peak color and perhaps past peak color once we start getting into that first week of October, but still seeing some of those colors out there. And then getting into mid-month, that's when it typically is going to be at past peak in a lot of places here in the Red River Valley. So we want to ask for your fall pictures. We love to share those on TV, on social media. These are just lovely to see, especially when we start to see the full color coming in. But even those little hints, like you see in this particular picture, we appreciate those. It gives us an idea of where we stand around the valley for fall color. And a way to do that is to upload your photos right to our VNL Weather app. Just go to the Submit button at the bottom of the home screen, and that'll take you to this page. And all you have to do is, at the top of the page will be this Weather Pictures category. You can scroll through this and see all the weather pictures coming in, but also submit your own where it says Add Media right here. And then just upload your photo right through your phone. Nice and simple and easy to do it that way. If that way doesn't work for you, you can go to our website directly, valleynewslive.com, and in the homepage there's a menu where you can just scroll down and see where you can submit photos, and it takes you to that same page to do so as well. We really appreciate getting those, and we love to share them too, so I'll continue to share them throughout the season. So again, summer weather today. We're definitely feeling the warmth today. We're watching out for a few isolated thunder showers, some of which could get stronger, so we'll have to keep an eye on things. Make sure you've got your VNL weather app set to alert you if you have any warnings, especially in west central Minnesota. And then after that, it feels more fall-like, and we'll start to see more and more of those fall colors show up. And again, we appreciate seeing your photos. And as we get more information on the outbreak from this weekend, we'll of course be sharing that with you too, and recapping the summer season that was very, very active this year. Also this week, we got a new update on El Nino, La Nina, where we stand there. I'm going to be doing an update on that too, so make sure you tune back in. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow if I'm able to have time to put all that together, but sometime this week we'll get that out so that you can get an idea of where we stand right now as we head into the colder months and into the fall and winter seasons ahead. So in the meantime, enjoy this summer day, and we still have some warm days ahead as well. It's not just today. If you're holding on to summer and wanting to do so, we're looking pretty good. Meanwhile, we'll switch back to our sky cam so you can see some of those fall colors starting to change over here, and you can see just a few of those on our trees right now in Fargo. So we'll keep an eye on this and enjoy the beautiful summer day while keeping an eye on the sky with that chance for some storms possible.